Good afternoon, everyone. You've heard about this new cockroach milk thing. Not myself. Cricket flour? Not a fan either. What we really need to start thinking about is how to grow protein sources such as crickets in a low-tech or a high-tech way to feed fowl, like Indian runner ducks that can also eat pests around your garden. We need to think about creative protein sources for chickens so we can have eggs, so we don't have to eat crickets. In New Zealand's attempt to slaughter 150,000 cows. So you need to ask yourself, is this the new move to try to limit our consumption of beef on the planet, citing a disease? And join me tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern to midnight with the radical gardener, Kate Hart. We're going to discuss many issues like this, including sound vibration to help your plants grow more healthily. This video is brought to you by TrueLeafMarket.com, heirloom and organic seeds for any grow zone on our planet. All the links for tonight's video are in the description box below, along with the link to True Leaf Market, the Adapt 2030 link. You know massive changes are upon us when the media is trying to feed you cockroach milk. You know, Christian at Ice Age Farmer, he talked about the switch in perception to try to get us to adopt things that would seem insane, literally insane for a food product just even a couple of decades ago. Talking about who's up for a glass of cockroach milk, you would have been put in an insane asylum in 1980 for insinuating such a thing. Now they're trying to say it's 3 times healthier than cow's milk. They've been pushing the cricket flour and insect flours for at least 3 years now. Why don't we think about using crickets to feed runner ducks and different types of fowl that give us eggs, and also protect our gardens by eating those insect pests that infest gardens? Why is the media not talking about raising crickets for chickens instead of trying to make us eat these things? It's so simple. Look what they're doing in India. They're using straw bales to raise crickets. If you want to bring it up a notch, use old cardboard egg casings. High-tech, modular cricket farms available now. This is on Inhabit. Free-range insect crickets, not for you and I to eat, for the chickens and the ducks to eat. Because when I see these healthy runner ducks and I know that they're going to come and snap flies and mosquitoes out of the air, they're going to wander around my garden and they're going to pick up all these insects that would damage my plants, they're going to be so valuable in the future. Food is going to be the number one commodity moving forward. And if you can't see this shift in front of you of them trying to get you to shift your eating habits, perhaps you need a wider lens. And as you can see, these crickets are incredibly easy to raise. They eat fruits, vegetables. Looks like they're using some old screen from a front porch there. You can grow them in plastic tubs. They're eating carrots, lettuce. These are healthy things. I would feed these to a chicken. I guess you can scale it as well. There's so many options. But the key is you're going to need to keep some fowl around so they can continue to keep the insect infestation around your garden and your yard down. So these Indian runner ducks are my number one choice, along with so many others. They talk about the benefits of the eggs and how many insects these eat, and they chase down all the pests. Now, that's only one source, but what about protein sources for chickens? Of course the chickens are going to eat those crickets. I like eggs, you like eggs. We're not talking about eating the chickens for meat so much as the egg production and the protection of crops. But also, if you're going to be fishing, why don't you feed the fish guts and other too small to keep fish that you can't fillet? Why don't you feed those to your chickens? Well, if the media is trying to get you to now consume cockroach milk, roadkill that's still fresh is not really out of the realm of possibility to feed chickens with. Bones, if you're going to eat meat, throw the chickens the bones. What about trapping mice? Those are pests anyway for your grains. Why don't you feed them to the chicken? Food scraps, you're going to throw that away. How about the seeds inside things like pumpkins, Cantaloupes, I like to roast the pumpkin seeds myself, but cantaloupes, you can't do that. Chickens will eat all of these things. You need to start thinking in a different dimensionality of how we're going to move forward with food production. And another thing here, New Zealand now going to slaughter at least 150,000 cows. And you just have to ask yourself, is this a way for them to limit other New Zealanders from having beef and also curtailing the demand for it, because they know that to raise cows, it takes an enormous amount of water and an enormous amount of feed, and that same feed could feed 12 people per year for what it takes to raise one cow. Now, is this a new limiting factor, and they're starting to now reduce beef production to a lot more grain to the human population? Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. We're going to need creative solutions. That's why I'm bringing Kate, the Radical Gardener, for tonight's radio program, because we need to talk about creative solutions moving forward. Hope to see you there, 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time, Studio A, Revolution Radio. I know you're going to get a lot out of our conversation.